Welcome back to the Evolv Podcast. I'm Rhiannon.
And I'm your better host, Brendan.
All right, we'll leave it at that. But for now, pretty much what this podcast is all about is self-development, health and fitness, and our journey starting as brand new business owners.
Let's go. Make sure that you share this around because I'm telling you right now, this is the best podcast you've ever seen.
Enjoy, guys. Ciao. Welcome to another episode of the Evolv Podcast with Brendan and Rhiannon. Today, we have a special guest. Big Gio. Gio, welcome to the podcast.
Hey boys, I got to admit, man, like coming in here, you never know what to expect from a podcast, but now that I'm here, I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, fucking
like, you get excited, man. If anyone that hasn't done a podcast before, you put the headset on and just G's you the fuck up. I don't know.
Yeah, you will get locked in though. When these headphones are on, I feel like you're all deep in that conversation.
I feel like it's like, I'm not a big smoker on the bar or anything like that, but you know, when you enter that,
that realm.
yeah.
You're in that like little dome.
It's like, bro, I'm in a dome, man.
Yeah, that's all you can think about when you're in it, right?
It's the studio dome.
Yeah, that's it.
It's good, all right.
Well, this ain't your first rodeo.
No, it's not. I was telling the boys just before, I did used to have a podcast a year or two ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't fitness related, which is my branding now, but it was great, man. It was good for networking.
Yep.
It's good to get your voice out there,
It
bro.
is.
Like the people you meet, like even these conversations we're gonna have today.
Yeah.
Like you just wouldn't have them otherwise.
You've met some crazy people.
I collaborated. Yeah. Honestly, like I've met so many people in the social media realm.
Yeah.
And I still have that network today. Like even like to this day, it's been 2 or 3 years, and I still connect with them. I still can reach out, link up. Like it's actually sick. So,
That's mad.
yeah, bro. Like you
Because
guys.
you're big in the space as well, in the social media space, right?
I wouldn't say it was huge, but but to be honest, the way I see it is like whether you have like 10,000 followers or 500,000 within Sydney and Australia, it's not a big
difference,
space.
hey?
The social media space in Australia is quite small. So once you connect with those people, you've got your connections. It's not like you're competing with like the US population, it's the Aussie population, which isn't that big. So it's pretty cool. Like you're having that, you know, those
Very
those
tight
networks.
knit.
Yeah, I'm a big.
Yeah, because people that have like 1 million followers and 500,000, they would connect, even though they're like 2xing in a way.
Yeah, 100%. Like after a certain point, man, everyone's just down to connect, and I don't know. You got to be a good networker as well. Like for me, I was naturally not someone that was extroverted and stuff, but over the years, I've just become like someone that loves. I don't know if it like I'm always interested in someone else's mind and their thought processes and like the way they navigate through life.
100%.
And man, it's good shit.
It's crazy. Well,
Would you
welcome.
say something about extroversion is something that you can develop over time?
Yeah, it's funny, man.
It's a weird one.
You know, in school, like in primary, I was probably the kid that was like the most shy in class.
Yep.
Like I was that kid that wouldn't put his hand up. I was that guy.
What, front of the class or back of the class?
Like
a
seated,
big difference, yeah.
Seated. I was probably like towards the back, somewhere
Towards the back.
tucked away, like, you know, where they couldn't see
Also, the
it.
cool kids then.
It was weird, bro. I was cool like at lunch, but shy like when it came
in class.
Do something proper, or even in sport, like low self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that's also what drove me like to get into fitness over the years
yeah.
too, because like, bro, you start building that self-confidence.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, you know, year 10, I topped the grade in push-ups, man.
Oh,
Bro,
is that what started the journey?
that was the point of that was the turning point right
Yeah,
there.
the pivotal moment.
Bro, I won the push-ups. That's how I'm going to become a bodybuilder. That's it.
Well, bro, a lot of PTs do get into it from high school. They're like,
100%.
oh, I'm good at fitness. Like, I need a career outside of school.
Inside that world sort of thing.
And like, I mean, it is an advantage if you're already good at fitness. Fucking go down that realm. But it's
If you're winning the push-up tests.
bro, you're pretty much you're not qualified, but you're very close. So you may as well fucking do cert 3 and 4. Like.
So welcome to the podcast. Now, as we said, it's not your first rodeo, but for the people that don't know who you are, give us a little bit of an introduction as to who you are, what you do, and we'll roll from there.
Yeah, so my name's Gio Valentino. PT, online coach is like my main brand. That's what I do for most of the week, actually about 50% of the week. People don't know, like I actually live 2 lives. Also a finance guy. I'm an accountant.
Would you say you're a finance bro?
Unfortunately, man, lately, like I never used to identify as a finance bro, but I was at a bar, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Just
on the weekends, all right? Friday nights.
No, I don't do much drinking, but post-work drinks, typical finance bro activities, and literally bumped into this bird, and, you know, she's like, what do you do? I was in my business shirt. I'm like, oh, you know, I work here, XYZ. I'm an accountant. She's like, oh, you're a finance bro. And it slapped me across the face because I was like, fuck, I have an identity.
I guess I am, right?
Well, bro, I have an identity crisis because, like, online, most people know me as Gio, the fitness guy,
Yeah.
online coach. Most people don't actually know I do two things.
Yeah.
And it's actually a big part of my brand now as well, because slowly as time's going on, I'm actually letting the world know there is another side to me. And
Yeah.
there's nothing against fitness. I actually love it. That's my passion.
Yeah.
But it's also about how you, like, if you do work a 9 to 5, there's a big trend on it now that you can do a 5 to 9. You can have that side hustle. You can do two things, and eventually your side hustle may take over with enough work. But it's become normal, bro. Like in our society, I don't know. I think it's very normal, and you should just don't just work a job because you have to. Like, do something you enjoy as well.
100%.
Yeah.
So accounting, fitness, and
Finance, bro.
like
bro.
everything.
Look, man, like as of like the past couple of years, it's been very fitness. Like fitness is my thing, man. Like I enjoy. You guys work in fitness, so you understand like the satisfaction you get when your client achieves a certain result, whether it's like a 10-kilo weight loss, they've put on 5 kilos, or the one that I love the most is I coach a lot of young guys that man, they're in their early 20s and they come to me with low self-esteem, and then after a year, they're literally like landed their first full-time job. They've lost 5 kilos. They have like capped shoulders. And
that's
like,
mad.
and bro, there's literally guys that say to me like, "Thank you so much, I wouldn't be here without you." And I hate hearing that. I'm like, bro, you've done all the work.
Yeah.
You've worked hard for the entire year. All I've done is given you the formula,
The tools.
All right, that's it. That's
The
all.
method.
That's all I've done. Like obviously,
That's what a good coach does, though.
accountability coach. Like obviously, you got to be there for your client, but that's where I get the sense of enjoyment. Out of the job.
Well, you're giving them careers as well, so you're helping them in the finance section as well.
Yeah, not only finance, anything, but that's where it all comes down to your network. Like,
100%.
I always tell people, like, you can work in whatever industry you want. Like, when I left school, I believed, like, I was a bit fucking distorted in the head because I believed I could become an astronaut. I believed I could become a doctor. I actually was studying medical science. So I believed I could do whatever I could.
To fly to the moon, or
Literally, bro, if you told me right now, go fly to the moon, I'd find a way. Like that's the mindset I have. You'll never, like, even if you fail, if you don't land on the moon, where do you land? In the stars, somewhere really good. Somewhere,
you love that statement.
I do. Shoot for the stars, aim for the moon.
That's the one,
Bro, you got to live by that.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, if you be realistic, you're gonna fail. Like most of the, probably 90% of the time, you're gonna fail.
100%.
But it's that one time you don't fail, and you're in the fucking stars, and you're
100%.
You're just like, you feel so accomplished because you did better than, like, for someone that's shooting like at table level here where we are, you're only ever going to end up on table level.
100%.
You're always going to keep it average.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I'm no like fucking motivational speaker.
You sounded like one now, though.
I understand, but look, being a PT, you have a bit of that motivational talk, like that.
You have to.
Self-talk becomes a part of you.
You turn into a life coach essentially, without even thinking it. Like it just sort of
It becomes you.
becomes you, and that's your role that you hold.
But that's how you can distinguish between a good PT and a bad PT.
We spoke about this with George.
He lives exactly the way I do.
Yeah.
A good PT lives by what they preach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is, they don't do it through their words. Like jumping on a podcast, I'll talk about it today.
Yeah.
But they do it through their actions.
Yeah.
You'll see them.
And you can actually see it.
Bro, you see it. They're up at 4:30 every morning.
Yeah.
They've knocked off half their work for the day by 10 a.m. You know what I mean? Then they were working on marketing, branding, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then they tell their clients to do all that shit. Their clients like, where am I going to have time? It's like, mate, I've
been up since 4:30, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, like, you don't have to do that, but it's possible. You know
exactly.
What I mean? So
anything's possible if you put your mind to it.
For sure, bro. Any industry, like, you just got to believe in yourself, man. That's all it takes.
Yeah, 100%. And when we were speaking to George, he mentioned this thing there's a difference to him between a PT and a coach. And he basically said a PT is just someone that, just gives you a program, and they have like the same program that they'll just give to everyone else, sort of thing. It's like a repeatable step-by-step process. Whereas a coach is someone that actually dives into that person, who they are, and tailors things.
100%.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah, man, a coach. Look, a PT. I don't think anyone should ever just be what you just described as a PT.
Yeah.
Like, if you're giving out cookie cutter programs, you're not really a PT. You're just someone who can print off Excel
And has a Cert 3 and 4, and that's it.
Yeah.
Look, the way I've always approached it is like, put yourself in the client's shoes.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I do. Like when
Biggest step.
someone calls me up, I actually say to people like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Today I'll have a chat with you and see if I can help you. It's not like most PTs are like, oh, like I want to sell you something. For me, it's not really about that.
Yeah.
It's more like, what do you need help with? I'll tell you what I'm good at. If I can help you, let's get it done. And then most of the time they love hearing that because they're like, this guy genuinely just wants to see if he can help me. And if he can, he's being honest.
100%.
And then at the end of the day, they're like, yeah, all right, he's going to try to do the best he can with the skill set that he has.
Yeah.
I tell him straight up, like I tell him everything, I do obviously do everything from scratch, whether it's their programming for the week, the nutrition, I literally ask them exactly what they want to eat and I'll calculate it and write it like for each and every person.
Well, being an accountant's good.
Yeah.
You can calculate all the numbers.
Look all the numbers and everything.
Bro, that's funny because like when I first started doing this, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. It's while I was at uni. That's how I got into it. If anyone interested, if getting into PT, like uni is a great time. If you're at uni,
He did that as well.
yeah, like man, I was obviously in the numbers a lot and in spreadsheets and whatnot, and I was obviously into my fitness. You know, after uni, you're training 4 to 5 days a week.
Yep.
And I was like, man, I love this shit. I was calculating my own macros, and then obviously like I started helping someone from uni with their nutrition. And I was like, man, this is like a little opportunity for me. So
to grow your brand, start getting into work and that type of thing.
So I started with meal planning for him, calculations for him. And then because I was in my classes, I was working with him.
Yep.
And then from there, like I just kept it up since that day. And it's been 4 or 5 years later. And now I'm running like a small business out of it. It's awesome. So
that's mad.
Yeah, that's how it actually started. So yeah.
So what made you start that? Because wouldn't you have thought to go into your field?
Yeah.
Because that was accounting, right?
I didn't want to. Bro, it's a long story. I didn't want to at the start. So I was actually medical science at the time when I was doing that.
Yeah.
All right, graduated from medical science. Then I went into radiography. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I was working.
Can you do x-rays?
I started in that. I was working in the field for a year. And I hated
But you've got a rap sheet.
What a 360.
He's got a rap sheet.
Look, they say you should go to uni, follow your passions, but you also got to think about the work you're going to be doing. You know, they glorify the medical field a lot.
They do.
In today's world, I don't hate the medical field, but I think that a lot of the information is outdated. I think as a coach as well, you see real life problems that clients have.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you look at the medical advice given by GPs, and a lot of it's outdated. Like they'll tell, like what's an example? Something like even blood test results with men. Okay, if you're at like a total test of like 300 and you're 21 years old, they'll send you home packing. They'll be like, you're healthy as hell. Go enjoy your life. But that's actually bottom end of the range. Yeah. Where you've got issues. There's an issue in your lifestyle. There's something that needs to improve, whether you need to be more active, fix your food, or worst case scenario, you need to be medicated, right? But
it's always medication as well. I had someone recently, she went to a GP, and the GP told her, she's got CVD, by the way, and the GP told her you shouldn't exercise for a year.
Because of what condition?
Yeah, because of she's got cardiovascular disease.
CVD, yeah, okay.
And he was like, don't train for a year, and I was like, what?
Yeah, well, that's probably wrong advice, if anything. Yeah, a lot. And the thing with medical as well, this is something I learned when I studied, is like medical degrees, they train the students how to medicate people.
Yeah.
Whereas
give them drugs sort of thing.
Everything is like, what is the diagnosis? What medication can we prescribe? There's never like, how can we fix it holistically? How can we fix it through lifestyle?
Exercise.
They don't teach that. It's not in the program at all. Like I did obviously a bachelor's. I didn't do my medicine degree, but it was like a prerequisite to get into that, right? So it's all the base. There was not one time not once did I read like, walk for 30 minutes a day will improve your cardiovascular health. Not once. It's all like, if you have a heart issue, take this medicine or take that.
That's crazy, eh?
And it's crazy because you've got to remember what runs it. It's the pharmaceutical company.
Yes. Big time, yes.
You know, bro, that's where the money's going. So
you noticed that and you're like, this isn't for me. Because you were more about the holistic approach in yourself.
That's how I used to live. But at that time, I didn't notice the problem. It's when I started getting into fitness, I realized, and then I went into the medical field. And I started working with it, and I was seeing all these sick patients, and I wasn't fulfilled at all. They'd all go home. Like I was not a doctor. I was a part of the process, of course. But everyone it's just like that was half the issue. I would never see the end result. So I'd see the patient.
They'd be in and out.
They'd get like a report from me based on their scans and whatnot. And then they'd go on to the next doctor. So I would never have closure. All right, as an individual.
Because you actually wouldn't know what happened after that.
I wouldn't have closure. Wow. And I was like, I can't see myself staying here for another 40 years without having closure, without feeling fulfilled that I've actually like contributed to someone's life in a positive way. And I literally left within that whole 12-month period. I quit, did a 360 and literally went into business, majoring in accounting.
Wow.
A big change. But,
that's mental.
But you got to remember, I was already like throughout my degree reading business books and the podcast and learning. I always had that mindset. It wasn't like a random thing.
Yeah.
I was a numbers guy in school, and then
it wasn't like an easy transition. Like
Nah.
it was actually a step-by-step process you followed.
Well, it happened overnight. I dropped my hat. I quit one day and enrolled in the next course the next day.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just knew that wasn't for me, and I was like, "What's good for me?" I'm like, "What am I good at? I'm good at numbers." And obviously fitness, it's not like that had to stop. That was already running in the background. So that's the journey to fitness. That's the story.
The journey to fitness.
That's how I got here. And now, bro, I'm super happy with what I do. Like, you know the fulfillment when you work with clients every day.
I liked how you mentioned that you weren't fulfilled doing what you were doing in the medical field. Do you feel like now with the personal training, you get that fulfillment?
Yeah, 100%. Great question, because like, obviously, like when I went into the medical field, I obviously had an interest in it. I obviously liked working with patients. I obviously liked working with people.
The communication side of it was there.
Yeah.
Like you like talking to people.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But so now I'm lucky because I get to tap into that world still through PT and coaching.
Yes.
I'm still getting...
Like a little taste of it sort of thing.
It's kind of the same job in a way,
Yeah.
except I'm actually seeing the end result as well.
Yeah.
PTs are doctors, are they?
Mate, you know what? The qualification is nowhere near.
And psychologists as well. Sometimes.
But it's a mix of everything.
Look, PTs, if you're a good PT, you deserve more credit than you get,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you deal with everything. Exactly, psychology, nutrition, fitness,
You
everything.
get a big rap sheet,
Yeah.
but all you get is a Cert 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we do a lot. Yeah, it's good. I think it was a good move, man.
Yeah.
I tap into both, and then I use my brain in like a analytical way in finance.
Yeah.
So I tap into both.
The thing I say about PT though, the work that we do is more preventative rather than fixing a solution straight off the bat. And with doctors, they have to come in with I need to fix a solution now, because that person needs to go home and see their family and all that kind of stuff. That's the only way that I understand it.
Yeah.
And they're pumping through beds as well. 'Cause,
Beds?
like people coming in and
Oh,
out of
yeah.
beds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so many people are getting scared these days. They get a diagnosis from a doctor and they go full panic mode. It's like, hey, if you actually went for a walk, as you said, 30 minutes a day, you'd actually feel the improvements straight away. It's very, very, it's a weird...
It's a weird
Can't
field.
wrap your head
It's
around
actually
it.
a weird field. We actually had a talk with an exercise physiologist. He works in a hospital as well.
Yeah.
And he was telling me he wants to open up a gym right next door to the hospital, because he was like, I'm seeing all these patients, but they pump them out. So he was like, I want to see them after that. And just take them to my gym.
Bro, just stand there with a card
Yeah.
and be like, oh, you can...
Take my card.
Come
bro.
next door.
So now that they've like removed the crutches,
Yeah.
just take my card and then I'll see you tomorrow.
Then I'll actually help you.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. He must be Arab or something, because they
He is actually.
yeah. I know, bro. The Arabs, look, everyone shits on the Arabs, right? I don't want to get too racial in this pod, but I'm gonna give them credit. Business minded wise, they're the best.
They're mental, eh?
Like I was speaking to a guy last weekend at a birthday lunch. This guy, man, your average Greenacre Lebo, right? But
Average Greenacre.
no,
He lives in Greenacre as well.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
All right, but we had about 4 or 5 different conversations. Every conversation we tapped into, every topic,
Yeah, it was deep.
he had a business idea.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was like, bro,
what?
he's like, bro, you can open this here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You can get this discounted here and we can make money this way. But it's like, bro, the way they think is just, I don't know what it is. Like, they're just bred
They're
differently.
wired differently, man.
Yeah, they're wired very differently.
Yeah.
They're size shops, man.
A
It's just-
size shop.
They're opening up all, like, everywhere, man.
what's,
But
your,
they're so smart, but.
what's your thoughts on Asai in general? Number one, as like a money-making business. I'm going
Yeah.
to talk business with you
Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
as a fitness, or as a health food. Go.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
That's a good one.
let's say that again. What's your thoughts on Asai as a health food?
Yep.
And as a business idea?
Yeah.
As a health food, it's a good supplement to a dessert, I feel. Like,
So,
you know,
so it's not a health food.
I know
It's
it's
not a health
I know it's not. I know it's not.
No,
I know.
is it a dessert or a health food?
Wow, that's a hard one.
This guy,
I freaking love it. I love them.
I love him too, but I'm not putting it in the health food.
No,
category.
okay. Chuck it to the side then. That's why I said dessert.
It depends if it has peanut butter. And
Yeah, yeah.
Nutella.
If it has peanut butter, then you're sorted, I reckon. But I like the granola and stuff. But
Yeah.
what is the side? I didn't
It's a
actually.
fruit. It's a
The
fruit.
fruit.
Okay.
It's a really sugary fruit. It's
High in carbs as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's a good
reckon-
pre-workout, I reckon.
Yeah, I was about to say if I could have it pre-workout, I would.
It's a good
Yeah.
pre-workout.
Yeah,
But it fills you up though. That's the thing.
it's heavy, man.
It's heavy. Very
Man,
dense.
People say that it's a health food, right? But they're like 700 plus calories. So
Oh,
you can't
per
really
bowl,
say like
bro.
it's good for you at all.
It's a main meal.
Yeah. It's a full dinner like option.
Like if I put it on a meal plan, it'd be
Yeah.
like literally meal 3, like
Yeah.
main meal. Like it wouldn't be. There wouldn't be a snack of any sort.
No, 100%. But in terms of it being labelled as a good business idea, crack a business idea. Just because the things they put in it, it makes you think like, oh, that's so healthy. There's
Pistachio,
fruits in
puppy.
it. There's peanut butter. There's granola. I would view that as healthy if I didn't understand it. You know what I mean?
It's viewed as healthy, which is why it sells.
Yeah.
And also, like, the margins are crazy. Like, I think, I don't want to throw numbers that I'm not sure of, but...
Well, you're an accountant, you have to, right?
Yeah. And accountants are accurate, bro. But, I'm pretty sure the margins are ridiculously, like, 200-300% per tub they buy.
Really?
Yeah, because, like...
200%. So I didn't know that.
There's not a lot of... They don't use a lot.
What is it?
They don't use a lot of acai in each bowl.
No, like, bro, I think you can buy like a tub of it for like $150, right?
Fire.
And then imagine how many bowls you're getting, like 30 bowls out of it, and they're charging $20 a pop.
Jeez.
You know, like, yeah.
And like the stuff they put in it as the extras, it's not that much. Like there's not too much peanut butter.
Costs
It's like
nothing.
half of a banana as well.
Yeah,
Like
it's a good idea. We'll open one after this.
Yeah, done.
We may as well.
the geodynamic. Sorry.
Geodynamic. I wanted to tap back into the fitness realm. When did it all sort of like kick off for you as a continual business for you? Because
Well,
obviously
after the push-ups, obviously.
after the push-ups and we
Yeah.
tapped on that, but obviously you went into accounting as well. Was it always something that you did on the side, or
It's always been on the side, but there has been periods I was doing it full time because so when I transitioned into when I transitioned from accounting, my accounting degree to my first accounting job, there was a period I was doing it there full time, and then actually what I do now, the way I got to my current setup was I was a full time accountant when I started, but within 6 months I actually requested to go 4 days a week.
okay?
Because I was enjoying PT,
The coaching,
so much. And also there was a bit of accounting study I had to do. So it was a good reason to like let me go 4 days.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it, to be honest. And then that gave me so much time to build my business. So obviously aside from the accounting study, I was doing my PT on Friday and Saturdays, which I still do to this day. And yeah, just kept building all my branding, my editing. Obviously, like, people don't see that side of it. It's not just...
It's a lot of work in the background.
Yeah, it's not just like you go in and do your PT sessions in the morning. Like, that's the physical part of the job. Then the online coaching, you're spending 3 to 4 hours on your laptop writing meal plans and
programs
updating
and-
training programs. So I do that on Fridays and Saturdays. And then like today after this pod, for example, I'm going to go home and edit some marketing videos, which I film throughout the week.
Yep.
So I'll probably spend 2 hours doing that. And then get ready to respond to some emails as well for tomorrow. So like there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. Yeah. But having that extra day a week just allows me to do those things. And so I guess for now, like, it's to build momentum, to answer your question. I freed up some time by going 4 days a week, which really gave me the advantage, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And that's what allowed me to build a bit of momentum with clients, get some recurring clients that were able to stick with me for like over a year now. Some I've had for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
But they're still with me today. Yeah. Because like another approach I took as well was like because I did have a full-time job, obviously scaling to a point where I have a maximum amount of clients was not achievable for me with a one-person band, right? Like a one-person team. The only way that would happen is obviously I hired other PTs, but I didn't want to take that route. It was a bit overwhelming for me, if I'm being honest. So I took a different approach. I was like, all right, I'm going to work with 5 to 10 people at a time, maximum. That's my cap. And work intimately with them, get into their life. Like, I want to put myself in their shoes. I want to know what they're going through in their lives as outside of fitness, their personal lives. And I built really strong relationships, and it's allowed me to retain clients for a long time. That's the approach I took.
Go.
It's different to most coaches. Most coaches are like, all right.
They think about the scaling, but that's usually coaches that are thinking of it as a full-time gig.
Yeah, and I get it, because if you're a full-time coach, like, I guess every coach I speak to, because I know heaps of online coaches there everywhere now, they're like, oh, I just need 50 clients a week, or I just need 40. But for me, like, I see that being good too, but then also the what do you call it? The quality of your clients would be lower if you do have that many.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So sometimes
you can't service that many that well.
Sometimes you got to I'll speak like from a business point of view as well. Like, I see this in accounting all the time, and a lot of the really good companies, because I look into the financials, they actually have clients that are great clients, and that's why they're so successful. They have clients that are willing to pay them more. They're the clients you want. You want clients that are willing to pay you more and appreciate your work. If you're shooting arrows at like people that are trying to get the cheapest price all the time, those are the people you'll have for like a month, and they'll just turn over to the next guy. They're not the ones.
And your whole goal is just to keep on getting new clients in the door.
So you'll never build a business that way. You'll have a job where your job is literally
Getting
it's just like a like this fish tank, like a filtration system. So it's like in out like that, right? It's something like that.
100%. And you have to get really good at just getting more clients coming in the door.
Yeah. So it's a never-ending cycle. So I don't know. That's the approach I took. It's worked for me. I mean, it's a little insight. I mean, I'd suggest anyone does that because actually you get more out of your job too. You're not just 100%. Like setting people up and offboarding them, setting people up. That's not enjoyable. Yeah. Like I find what I do is quite good. Yeah. It's worked. So
weirdly enough, we kind of do the same thing. Like I've had clients for 4+ years. Yeah. He's also had clients for the same time period as well. And even though we've got a team of coaches that work underneath us, a lot of their clients have been on with them for 2+ years as well. Yeah. And we kind of focus on, we don't really get like heavy influxes of clients coming in the doors, but when we do sign clients, they end up staying with us for a long time because we care more about that relationship rather than having like a big client list, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think another big thing is how we've what's the word I'm looking for? How we've gone about training them as well.
Yes.
We've been putting our little repertoire onto them as well. So like teaching them the ways that we've kept retention high, and even just like giving them little tips and tricks along the way of like, hey, make sure you just ask how they are during the week. Like just one little message, one little check-in.
It's showing you care. Exactly. A lot of it is like client service. Yep. We're in the client service game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know, so a lot of the time, I put this on my socials like last week. Someone asked me a question like, what's a business tip or whatever. And it's like,
what's a business tip?
Yeah, like you know, no, like on social media, you need to ask me on Instagram.
Yes, yeah. Like questions.
Yeah, that thing, bro. I'm fucking getting old. I don't know what the features are, bro. Yeah. All I know is like the question thing. But I saw a question. I was like, I need to answer this. Yeah, cool. I was like, what's this question? And someone goes, what's a like business tip or whatever? And I was like, man, there's 1,000 people selling the same service as you. Like, probably hundreds of thousands. They're not going to choose the person with the best program because all the programs are within 5% of each other. If we're being realistic, like if we're
everyone wants the same program,
if we're all similar, like like there'll be tweaks. I have my own tweaks and the way I train, and you have the way you train a little bit different. But the exercises are similar, the tempo is a bit different, and like
we're still prescribing squats and deadlifts, bro. Like that's the same thing.
Dependent, but close to right. But the reason someone stays with you is because they like you as a person. Are you a good bloke?
Yes.
Does this coach care about me?
Yeah.
Does he genuinely care about my results? Does he really want me to lose weight, or does he just want my money? Because it's very obvious when you do the wrong one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Stand out.
Yeah. So like something as simple as like checking in throughout the week. Hey mate, like how's your training going? Are you struggling with anything? Like those little things go a long way.
100%.
A long way.
Client service.
That's it. It's a client service game. Or just pick up. No one wants to pick up the phone in our generation. Outside of this, like fitness as well. Like I don't know about you boys.
I feel very old school. I'm always on the phones.
On the phone.
I don't answer my text messages. I'm more of a phone call.
What about you?
Yeah, phone and text. Like I'm like in the middle. So
he likes his text messages. I like my calls.
How many phone calls are you making a day?
Oh, you really want to know?
I want to know because I don't make many. Like
we make probably 50. Each
with clients or
not to clients, just anyone.
Clients,
but like
trainers,
clients wise, probably 2-3 a day.
Clients, I don't expect you to call every day, so you're making 50 calls a week. See, I'm completely different to you boys.
Oh, not a week, like a day.
A day, a day.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm always on the phone.
Oh, so you guys are phone people. Yeah. See, I'm more of a texting person.
Okay.
Calls, I'm almost unreachable unless you're my client.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's bad.
Why's that?
I don't know. I just feel like
more of a business move.
Nah, I protect my time a lot.
Yeah.
So like I go a lot. It's
so
not
go more accounting things.
What it is like I hyper focus on one thing at a time. I'm the typical male. I can't multitask. So like for me, it's like when I'm working.
You're multitasking well though. Working full time as an accountant and working full time almost as a PT.
You're right, but there's a switch. So for example, when I work in accounting, the switch of the online coaching goes off, completely off. Like as in like. If the phone rings.
Oh my god, I'm the same.
So it might be like 2 hours. I'm like, all right, be an accountant for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I need the analytical mind, the problem solving mind. I solve the issue, write the report.
Yep.
All right, and then I'm satisfied. Put it down.
Yep.
Flick the switch. Now I need to be empathetic. Now I need to understand like it's an emotional game.
Okay.
Then that part turns on. So I'll do one thing at a time.
Yeah, I actually like that. And when you're running a business, obviously you were mentioning before that you do like marketing for 2 hours or you'll do like client check-ins for a couple of hours. Yeah. You're also making those switches in between when you're doing that as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't be thinking about how you service clients when you're doing your marketing,
Well, yeah,
social media
exactly.
editing, you know what I mean?
Well, when you run a business, like you're never just doing, like we said, you're not just doing the service.
Yep.
You need to think about all aspects. Like you boys, more so, you have people working for you. You got to think about like payroll, like or how your workers are getting paid,
The accounting.
your client service, your own marketing, this
Yeah.
podcast, which is part of your marketing. What else is there? No HR because we don't need that.
I'm the HR guy.
That hurt him a little bit.
He's the HR guy.
He's the HR man.
Who misbehaves? What's the rules?
Oh, I just run meetings and stuff like that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You run
Yeah, full
HR
on.
meetings?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, lad.
Fuck this guy. Just HR meetings.
Why are you doing HR? What's the like? Where are you getting at? What's going on?
Yeah, what are we doing?
He pretty much like
It's because we have 3 teams. So we have a nutrition
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
and 2 PT teams in Sydney and Melbourne. And when I'm doing these meetings, it's more about helping them develop their initial consult process or helping them develop their sales skills and stuff like that to develop their clients and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. It's not. That's a little bit of operations though. It's not full HR.
Yeah, it's not full HR.
Nah. HR's like
It's like you're getting sacked and getting paid less. That type of thing. Is that what you mean?
no, yeah. HR's like hiring and like if you like say something unethical at work and all that crap. Like
Oh, those guys.
yeah,
Nah, I can't be those guys.
that's that's more HR. It's like stuff that you wouldn't need at this stage.
he's like made his own definition of what HR is to him.
He defined HR as like operations.
Yeah.
You'd rather be you sound better as an operations manager. Forget HR.
Like operations manager.
Yeah, new title for you. There you
Yeah,
go.
I like to tell them that I'm the HR guy.
You sound too nice with HR. HR generally is like very
The guy I go to and
the
you're
voice
in
of
trouble.
the voice of reason. You're not that guy. I can tell. You're not that guy.
No, I'm not.
He's like, bang, this is my foot. It's staying here. It's crazy to have that whole transition from where you were to where you are right now. Do you have like a process that you followed, or was it just like the mentality that you had was just to like keep chasing the dream, keep chasing the time for yourself?
Man, to be honest, to get to where I am now, there's obviously like, by no means am I where I want to be, but obviously like in a good spot and come a long way. And to do that, there's always got to be a sacrifice. So like whether that's, for me personally, it was like a social life for a few years and relationship.
Yeah.
Like obviously don't have a misso, so, but obviously forced that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys these days, they look for, what's the word? Instant gratification, you know, going out to nightclubs and all that stuff. And I cut that off quite early, like even like 3 or 4 years ago when all my mates were still going to raves and like popping pills and stuff like that.
Festivals and stuff like that. Yeah.
I just pulled the plug on all that crap.
Well, you never went to them.
I did.
So you never had that life.
No, I 100% had that life, but it wasn't like a weekly
Like
thing.
in your younger years, sort of.
So when I was like 18, 19, 20,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I got over it real quick and then thought like, oh no, I want to pull my socks up and actually do something.
Yeah.
And like having flexibility in your week, being able to like work as a PT and now I'm here doing a pod, like these things aren't possible when you work for someone all the time.
Yeah.
And like to do that, you obviously have to make some sacrifice, right? So for me, look, to this day, like obviously eventually one day you want to build a strong relationship with a girl and like build a family and whatnot. But like in your 20s, I feel like for males as well is a perfect time where you don't need that. It's an option and it's a blessing if you do. But it's a good time to sacrifice that for 5 years. Just buckle down, put your head down. I literally would probably see mates once every like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Like it was very like lonesome. But in that time, obviously built my personal brand. And now that's like a funnel which brings in work all the time for me, which I am very grateful for. And that's literally was the key. Yeah. And then organization was another thing.
Yeah, I was
like,
just about to bring
because
that up.
Because if you got 2 things going at once, you need to be
It's
real.
really hard to manage.
It's like I saw actually when I walked in here, I saw the first thing you had open was Google Calendar.
Yeah, sorry. I was meant to close that, but yeah. Google Calendar is like
Mate,
our baby. Like we live by it.
I live by this. Like Google Calendar. So I started using it probably like five years ago. Whenever it started, like became a good calendar, right?
It's the best thing ever.
I could tell you now, I couldn't wake up and live my day without it. I have everything in there. By everything, I mean everything. Like
training, marketing, operations, accounting.
every single one of those things that you just said and everything I've said right now is in there. Like I'm saying from now to the end of the year. Yeah. And then as things come up, you put them in.
HR meetings as well.
HR skip. Bro, there's no time in 7 days a week. You're not getting HR. Bro, if you gave me an 8-day week, I still wouldn't do HR.
Yeah. That extra random day.
I'm not hiring ever.
But it was like when I sent you that the podcast invite. Like that would have gone straight into your calendar. You would have just seen it there and would have been like, oh sweet.
Yeah, it was locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, without it, like, look, I'll give it. Let me know if you agree, because my brother has like a media company and
Yeah. Pulse Media.
Yep. Shout out to Pulse Media.
Yeah.
Nah, he's just like he's starting to take off as well.
Yeah.
And about a year ago, because he's a bit younger than me, so he doesn't have like the soft skills that I have. Obviously, been around in business a bit longer and stuff. But I go to him, bro, you need to get onto Google Calendar, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Probably I'd say like a month ago, he actually came up to me. And like being the younger brother, that you don't want to listen.
They don't listen to
you don't
the
want
older brother.
You don't want to listen to your older brother, even though he knows more.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm gonna say, of course I know more. But they won't listen. He comes up to me, and he's like, hey, bro, I finally started using Google Calendar, and he showed me, and it was all laid out. I'm like, bro, now you have some structure.
Perfect.
And I'm like, now if I ask you what you're doing on Thursday, you can tell me, and you can tell me if it's going to overlap with the client work that you have. It's like, no, I have an hour here. I'm like, there you go. Now we have some structure. And then now he's plugging in like, this is the way I do it too. Like you look at your week, literally like, you would do the same. You look at the 7 days, you look at all the blocks. So you've got like your media, your marketing, your client work, X, Y, Z. You might have like 2 or 3 hours in each day that are like available to do something else. So if someone asks you, oh, can you come and collaborate with me today? You're like, well, I have this time right here. And you slot it in. But then, like, I don't know, if without it, how would you get anywhere? Like, how would you know what you're doing in 3 months' time?
It's crazy.
How would you book in those opportunities that you want to get to where you want to be?
100%.
How did people do it before without it?
Well, people still live like that.
I know, obviously, but like now
They have those calendars.
We live by Google Calendar.
Yeah.
And like back then,
doesn't your family have those calendars that you flip? Flip book ones?
my sister is the family calendar, so she'll book in everything like going to Nunna's house, going to a family dinner on the Google Calendar, and she'll send it off to everyone. Yeah.
How do you do that actually? I need
Well,
to
that's
do,
next
I want
level.
to do this.
You just tag everyone's email.
So on your task, on your like calendar item.
You click on the time that you want, and then you just collaborate with people's emails.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna start.
The way we set up this
Oh,
podcast.
so is that how you sent it to me?
Yeah.
Because I've never sent nothing to anyone.
Yeah, bro, you put the emails in.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
So
start.
when
when I
I their
asked
full email though.
Huh?
Has to be their Google email.
So when I asked you for your email, I was like, oh, sweet. Put it in, send it off to you, and bang, it's in your calendar, and you just have to accept it or not.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
just say yes or no.
that.
Yeah, bro, 100%.
Bro, watch, now
all clients and everything.
When I go home now, everyone's gonna start copying like all my bookings.
All these emails are just gonna pop
All
up.
your clients are gonna be like, oh, Gio's improved.
yeah, bro. Thank you. See,
Yeah, that's all right.
so that's what they say. You know, when you collaborate with someone, you like obviously it's what's it called?
A win-win situation.
Win-win situation. You gain something from the other person. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like you learn something from me, I'll learn something from you. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm taking home today.
Yeah.
Fucking Google that calendar invite. That's it.
If you gain one thing from the podcast, booking calendar invites.
Booking calendar invites, bro. That as a like corporate person, that's a good skill to have too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you guys already do that?
We use Outlook.
Oh, I was going to say.
I don't like clashing my calendars. A lot of people would because everything overlaps. Because there's an issue.
Because it looks empty in one, but then full in the other.
Yeah.
Well, how do you manage that though? 2 calendars
I
at
have
once.
to. Well,
One's Outlook, but that's
I keep
purely
one
accounting,
finance,
isn't
one's
it?
accounting,
Yeah.
and one's so Google Calendar is all my fitness and personal life,
Yeah.
and then Outlook for me is my work life.
Okay.
But obviously before booking like something in, I have to check both.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I met someone that has 7 calendars.
7.
Seven.
There's 7 lives.
Oh, literally, bro, it's like 7 lives.
I've got 2 lives and I'm struggling. Like
I don't know how she does it. It's a girl, so she can multitask.
they can multitask.
Yeah.
For them, that doesn't count. It's like they got 9 lives. Bro, you know how it is.
So you can book on there and book like Google Meets meetings.
Yeah,
and
I've done
stuff.
that one.
Okay.
I've done meets.
HR meetings and
He's gonna keep going.
But I'm gonna can your HR department. After this, we're having a chat. We'll do a business restructure, I reckon.
yeah, 100%. done.
We've got to sort it out.
Call all the trainers, be like, there's no more HR anymore.
But I'll call them up. I'll give her. Here's what I'll do. I'll give everyone a minor pay rise. HR, bro. HR will be deleted. All the employee satisfaction will go through the roof. I'll tell all their mates, bro. You get all these new clients, bro. We'll sort it out.
Oh, done.
We'll crack the numbers after. What do you think are some of the biggest mistakes people make going into starting fitness in their own life? Because obviously, like a lot of people come to us and they're like, I want to lose 6 kilos straight away, and their whole mindset is just tailored around, okay, I know I just need to train, but it's not just about training. It's about all these other little faculties in their life.
Yeah.
having people come to you.
Also, is the question more like what issues or what problems do they have with not achieving what they want?
Correct.
Or not achieving what they want? I think most people's interpretation of fitness is, if I just follow this plan for 6 weeks, I'll look like God.
Like Arnie.
I look like Gio.
And yeah, pretty much. There are people that ask me that on the phone. They're like, I want to look like you in 6 weeks. And I tell them that is...
Good luck.
No, I say that's impossible.
Yeah.
I said, if you want to look like me in 6 weeks, train hard for 5 years.
Yeah.
But if you want to look significantly better...
Or jump on gear. That depends.
Even that, bro. Even that. Bro, gear doesn't get you like exceptional results. It's the hard work.
You still have to put in the work.
All the gear and no idea.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that. Like it requires time. Anything great requires time.
100%.
I think people's main issue is the expectations and thinking that a certain plan will get you there in 6 weeks. And also another thing is
there's no cookie cutter program.
There's that, and then also they're not willing to adopt the lifestyle. And they're overwhelmed by the thought of it. Like, I feel like most people, they think the fitness lifestyle is like draining or not enjoyable, where it doesn't have to be like that. It's actually a very enjoyable process. You actually cut out all the crap. You cut out all the toxic relationships. You cut out all the unnecessary drinking. Like you'll drink. I'm not saying don't drink, but you can drink, like, for example, when you've earned it, when you've earned the reason to, like a celebration. It should be a reward. It shouldn't be part of your week.
It shouldn't be something that you do all the time.
No. Yeah. Like when you make all these shifts in your life, then that's where you really hack into like getting those really good results. And then that's the fitness lifestyle. So when you've got your 4 days a week of training, you're eating clean 6 out of 7 days, and the 7th day is just one cheat meal, not fucking 3 or 4. And like when you've done that, that's the fitness lifestyle. That's not that overwhelming. People are like, oh, it's too hard. It looks so painful. Yeah. It's not that painful. You just need the right guidance.
100%. It can be daunting though, because I feel like a lot of people have been living their life that way for, up to 40 years. You know what I mean? They've never understood the training consistently every week. They've never understood the proper nutrition habits and everything like that. And when we come into their lives and say, it's not that hard, and we're like in our 20s, they're like, why am I going to listen to you? So how do you break that down? It's like someone in their like 40s,
I'll tell them exactly what you just said. I'd say I'm pretty brutally honest when I speak to people. You have to be though. It's like some people would find it a bit confronting, but I have to be, because exactly right. I tell them, look, mate, you've I'm coaching someone now, and he's only like 20 or so, but even people that are like 40, like you said, they have those really, really bad habits for all those years. And I'm like, mate, you've got into this poor lifestyle and obesity because of your poor habits for 21 years. Okay. So this is going to be hard for you. This is going to be really hard, but we're going to fix it through minor changes each week. And even just telling them that straight up so they accept it, that's the first step to like moving on into it.
Acceptance is the first stage.
Exactly. So yeah, man, like they just need to accept where they're fucked up up to that point. And then obviously if you're at that stage, you've got to reach out for a bit of help, because education's another thing. So for us three in this room now, like it all makes sense because we've obviously learnt about it. We understand.
And we've been doing it and we've been coaching it as well.
You've been coaching it, and you've also put it into your own bodies. Like you can see it, like you guys are fit, you're healthy, you live the life. For someone that has no idea, they wouldn't even know where to start. They wouldn't understand what a macronutrient is. They wouldn't know, like if I put in front of us right now, like a handful of nuts, and then I put in front of you a banana, they wouldn't really be able to tell like what's high fat, high carbs.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't break that down. They can't see the difference.
And some people may actually think, they'll actually get confused by that situation, because even I'm getting confused in my head, because nuts are perceived as healthy. They're not actually really high fat. Yeah. But obviously I still incorporate them in my daily, like you can incorporate them. And then the fruit is like, oh, that's perceived as healthy, but now it's carbs. Am I scared of carbs? Like, people don't.
It's so confusing. And I understand why people are confused, And this whole thing about labeling foods as bad foods and good foods, I feel like it's low shit as well.
Oh, there's no,
there's no such thing as bad foods and good foods.
Well, the problem is social media, right? There's too much misinformation.
Yes.
A lot of people, there's almost too much information, like information overload. The stimulus is like my brain explodes. Like
too much.
There's no right.
You get into a loop of this food is good, and then you're like, oh shit, but this guy's saying it's bad. So who do I listen to?
Who do I listen to? What's right?
The back and forth, man. It kills
It's like
me.
table tennis in your head.
How do you respond to those videos? Like, or you guys, how do you navigate? If you watch 2 videos with similar topics but different answers, like what do you listen to?
Yeah, my mindset really changed up until I met this guy. So prior to that, I was like protein shakes, just eat healthy and like eat anything and everything that I could. Then I obviously met this guy,
I'm a science geek, bro.
and he's a science geek, and he goes, I actually don't have any protein shakes. I don't have any of those supplements. And I was like, oh,
There's a reason for that.
Obviously. I was like, oh, how do you get your protein then? And that education was the first kicker for me.
So if you watched a video and it said,
don't eat protein shakes.
what happens if you watch a video now that said, take protein shakes?
I'm very influenced sometimes. Sometimes I'm very influenced. It just depends on the type of video. Like if I'm entertained by it, that's the problem. Like entertainment. If you're entertained by it and you like the person that's talking about it, then you're like, oh, okay, he's saying something right. I'll get the guarana extract.
I'll buy it. I'm sold.
Yeah. But in terms of the protein shakes, I was saying to him, like, whenever I see something on social media, I'll do my own research. And that's what I meant by, like, I'm a science geek, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing I said about the protein shakes is I get enough protein my whole day just from food already. So me having protein shakes is not going to do anything.
Yeah, so you don't exactly. You've already hit your quota for the day. You've hit your target. You don't need it.
I'm just going to piss it out. Like, what's the point? Rather than not have that shitty liquid anyway.
Yeah, like I'm a big advocate of whole foods over supplements. But in saying that, I do have protein shakes in my diet because I try to hit really high protein targets. Like depending on.
It is necessary in some points.
It depends what stage of my diet I'm up to. Like in a deficit, and I want my protein skewed really high. It does help instead of having another 2 meals.
If I'm on a cut, then I will have a protein shake.
Yeah, on a cut, exactly. It helps a lot.
And I prescribe it a lot to a lot of people because a lot of people struggle with getting protein in from food.
For sure.
And that's when I'm like, have a protein shake.
And they're busy, right?
Yeah.
Some people on the go, like a lot of tradies that I've coached, literally like on site all day.
Sometimes it helps to have that
they
protein
haven't
shake.
got access to a fridge and like a microwave. So I'm like, man, you have 2 scoops of protein on the
water.
go. That's 50 grams of protein.
Yeah. Then you're sorted.
Get you through the day.
Yeah.
So it has a place. But the videos, man, too much misinformation,
So
too much
much
arguments.
Because
back
if you
and
heard
forth.
me saying on social media, don't have protein shakes, they're shit. It's like the right message for everyone.
No,
you know what I mean?
exactly. It's a case by case basis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, it's too overstimulating.
Too much.
I try not to overconsume, and also if you guys are in the creator space as well, like sometimes it's good to only consume in small doses. I've realized that. Like, jump online, get a feel of what's happening in the market. Like, I'm a bit probably don't consume enough because I don't want to go on my phone that much. And then once you spark up an idea, then like I just create. I don't like go on there and try get all this influence because I get overwhelmed. I just like get a small dose. What's going on? What's the internet doing? And then pack the phone away. Then create my own stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
do you follow trends or do you kind of create your own top content?
Everything's original of mine.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my gym stuff too is like I know some people might find it boring, but I create it because I enjoy it. So I'll go to the gym and I literally like I look at the angles. I think of an idea that I can discuss.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, all right, I want to convey this message.
Yeah.
And I want the lighting to be cracker.
Yeah. Lighting is key.
And then I'm like, all right, where's the good lighting?
Yeah. Where's the good corner?
Where's the good
Good
corner?
machine.
Find me a good gym, good lighting, sorted.
Then you need to time the video with your pump, which is the hardest part.
Yeah.
People don't see that with fitness content. It's like,
35 minutes into my session.
bro, it's like, 35 minutes and 30 seconds in. All right.
Specifics.
Bro, the worst is like, even the other day, like one of my mates come up to me in the gym. It was a semi-empty gym, so it was okay at the time. Bro, I was like warming up for like 45 minutes, got my pump, got my mic out, got my camera out, tripod. Because I don't do content every day in the gym, but this was like the content day, had it booked in the calendar. The fucking
I was in the calendar.
Yeah, it's always in the calendar. Everything's in the calendar.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, the whole week was leading up to this video.
Yeah.
All right. It's the only opportunity I had to film it. Pump was good. Just got my tongue ready. For the video. And then I'm speaking. Fucked up the first line. I was like, all right, I got the second line. My mate comes up. Bro, he has no idea. Like, fucking doesn't care about my video one bit. How are you, brother? Knocks the tripod, moves everything. How you going, bro? I'm like, bro, like,
I had to mentally prep for this.
He's like, you don't understand what's going on to this moment. Like
I've waited 45 minutes and 30 seconds for this one video and he just stuffed it up, man.
Yeah, he threw me off. Anyway, he started there talking to me for 5 minutes, right? I couldn't get rid of it. You can't rush him off. Like, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
You can post that as content though.
Huh?
You can post that as content.
It wasn't. I stopped it, bro. I couldn't have this bloke on there.
Yeah.
Anyways, got rid of him. But once he left, bro, pump was gone. Lost my train of thought.
Flat.
Had to restart. Anyway, the video's going up today after this.
Yeah.
Fucking shocking. But anyways, I'll still post it, whatever. So yeah, that's the process of running a video. People don't see that, man. Like it's a lot of prep.
They don't see the behind the scenes at all.
Yeah. Do you guys do much gym content?
Bro, we do all gym
Like,
content.
I've seen in your brother's gym, eh? Is it?
Not my brother's gym,
No?
mate's gym, Adrian.
Bro, I get confused.
Yeah, I know.
Which gym are you like doing content?
It's at
all the
that
time?
gym.
It's at that gym, but that's not my brother's gym. It's my mate's gym.
Oh, your mate's gym.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
Adrian.
sorry.
So we literally all we do is we set up and we just train together and we chat.
Actually,
in
I've seen a
between.
few. I've seen a few.
Yeah, you probably
videos.
seen a
They're
few.
good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah. So
Not much thought goes into them, to be fair. Just because we put in our calendar and everything, like locked in gym time, same hour every week. But sometimes we don't really prep that much, if we're being honest, because we're so focused on every other aspect of what we're doing. Yeah.
But what's your process of doing, like, building a video or putting it together? You just rock up and off the cuff?
honestly,
just
set up the camera like that.
Yeah.
And mic's on, and we just have like the thing is we've been
There's
starting
still some
to
structure because we ask each other specific questions.
yeah.
But do you have, like, an exercise you're going to do, for example?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
like,
So
I'll
some-
teach him how to squat or how to.
So
do
you
this.
say, all right, today we'll go in, we'll do some squats, and we'll run through the technique.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yeah,
his
yeah.
breakdown of a session is like anterior, posterior, full body,
Yeah.
and mobility. So we kind of follow that process together.
Science nerd.
Science nerd. So he just breaks it down and we just do the same exercises. But during that, like we're obviously asking questions. I'm throwing him questions that I want answers to and vice versa. And some of it kicks off, some of it like people enjoy. And we even talk to people that are in the gym as well. And like getting an understanding of their story and what they're doing and how they've gone through their journey of losing all this weight. And
So it creates good content through that, through other
Yeah.
people's stories.
yeah.
100%.
That's good. It's actually, I find it better off the cuff more than, like, scripting.
Having it prepared.
I don't script my stuff.
Oh,
Like,
you
what
don't. So it's just an idea in your head, and then you
Nah.
can't just go.
I
around
know a lot of guys that script, like, I mean, like, word for word.
Guilty.
Yeah,
We used to
we've
do it,
all
bro.
done it. I mean, I only did it a few times. And it wasn't natural. It doesn't flow. So what I do now is, like, this is exactly my structure. I just literally write down an idea.
Yep.
So I'm like, like in my notes, it's literally go into the gym and talk about this. That's what it says.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put
So topics. Yeah.
topics. So I'll just
Yeah.
put 3 dot points. So like talk about this, like 4 words,
And creatine.
3
day.
words. Yeah. Talk about creatine loading, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Then talk about the next thing, and then that's it. Then off the cuff, let it flow.
Yeah.
Use your knowledge and talk.
Yeah, because we used to do scripts, and I feel like it was mentally draining.
Bro.
Because I was like, oh, I have to do that same video
Got
again.
that line, bro. Fuck. Just go insane,
We'd finish a
man.
content session, and we're like, bro, I'm cooked.
Yeah. So, bro, I'm not an actor. I wasn't built for this. I'm not a paid actor. If anything's for free, we're free actors.
We're
Exactly.
free paid actors. Well,
Yeah.
free actors, yeah.
Far out. Actors, PT, psychologists, scientists, everything, bro. The
No,
rap sheet's insane.
Yeah, you can do a lot. But yeah, fuck, I forgot. I had a train of thought. But I lost
How'd
it.
you get into like? How do you go about marketing? Because you just mentioned before you don't really do scripts or anything like that.
Just go off topics.
And is your main marketing just your social media? Is that what you're doing?
It's only social media. I don't have like a sales funnel
Yep.
per se. I've looked into it. I've tried. Don't have the time, to be honest. If I had the time,
Because you're working full time still, so it's not.
yeah, if I had the time, I would build a sales funnel through a website, but
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to build it. And I know you can outsource it, but I'm also very particular with my marketing.
Yeah.
So like, I shouldn't be like, it's one of my flaws, if I'm being honest, like not letting people take control of my marketing. So I like doing it myself, but it's also because like you don't want to overflow of clients as well. Like
Yeah,
you
because
wanna-
you only want to have like 5 to 10 good clients.
Yeah, exactly. That,
Do you have a wait list and stuff like that?
yeah, like over summer, like it's packed. Like it depends
Yeah.
on the time of year. Like now, like I'm completely fine. If it ever dips, then I'll push out more marketing. So that's actually the way I approach it. So like if I ever go quiet on socials, because like, sometimes someone's like, "Oh, you're a bit quiet lately." It's like it means I'm probably doing well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that, and then when I'm pumping more socials, it's like I've got a bit of capacity, happy to take on a new
Bit of
leads, a
awareness.
few calls, how we going,
Yeah.
and also build your brand. Like
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever be stagnant online.
Yeah.
I feel like in today's world,
You can't be.
You need to stay relevant and you need to
Yeah.
stay on brand and on topic and like what's
All the time as well.
it's not. I was gonna say what's trending, but sometimes you got to be authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't always
Don't
jump.
be real, man.
Yeah, like
100%.
That's what I was gonna say about your videos before. Like it's way better being authentic than scripted.
Well, as soon as we changed that whole aspect, then Brendan was like, why don't we just record? Like, he enjoyed watching people that were just training and talking and on the mic. And he was like, why don't we just do that? I was like, okay, let's change it up.
It is copying in a way, but
It's not copying.
It's
at
not
all.
copying.
yeah, because it's just us training.
I'll
That's
tell you why
how
it's
we
not
train.
copying, because no one will ever say the exact same thing you said the exact way you said it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's impossible.
It was just the idea.
You're you.
The idea was training at the gym with microphones. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Bro, that's the best idea.
But that's a very good thing. Like you bring up like the topics. That's
Just
that's-
write in the topic.
Yeah. Gives you a
Because
good
we
idea.
we do the questions thing. So
Well-
I'll think of like 5 questions I want to
Yeah.
ask this guy. He does the same thing, and we
Yeah.
just go in the gym and do it.
Bro, I like it. Look, if I had a mate like you to
Yeah.
do videos with all the time, I'd also do questions. But
100%.
it's actually, if I put you in a room by yourself to do that video,
Yeah.
like, what would you do? Like, it's actually hard by
Bro,
yourself.
you pause. Like you just your brain goes
Yeah,
blank
yeah.
sometimes, and especially when you know a camera and a microphone's on you, you're like,
Yeah.
Even though the three of
God.
us are always behind a camera, always in front of a microphone, sometimes it's still daunting.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, I've gotten better at it. Like, also, like, if you're in the same gym, same space all
Yeah.
the time, you get more
Confident.
Confident. Yeah.
People also know me as the guy with the tripod, so it's
People
not.
know us as the
Tripod
two
guy.
guys in the corners.
Yeah, so like now I'm not really like shy from that perspective, but you're right. Frees up, like getting your words out. You want it to be a good video, man. You want it to pop. You want people to resonate with it.
Yeah.
You want someone to learn something, and you don't want to come across as like some gym bro that's just like try so hard. You know?
Some gym finance bro in the gym with a tripod.
Yeah, like bro, it's very easy to fuck up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. It's very easy to not do well with the video, but then sometimes just being yourself is the best way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like someone will resonate with you that you wouldn't even expect. Like
Oh,
the-
yeah. I've had some interesting people resonate with our content and we're like, wow, okay.
sometimes it's that guy that you just want to, like, for example, the guy that plays PS5, he's just at home on the weekend and he wants to get into fitness, and like that guy's watching your stuff, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're thinking, who's gonna give a shit about my deadlift right now? But there is a guy out there.
There's always that one person.
There is a guy.
Yeah.
Bro, even 5,000 views, like, that is a lot of fucking
Yeah,
views.
lot of eyes.
That's a lot of eyes. That's a lot of people to watch that video. So,
100%.
content's king, man. Keep it up.
Yeah, there we
Thank
go.
you, bro. Thank you.
I like it.
If there was a message that you could send to people that are wanting to start being a personal trainer, they're doing another job, they're wanting to do personal
They're
training
accountants on the side.
they're doing something on the side, what would be your advice?
I think, honestly, number one is like, look at your entire week, zoom out. First thing I'd do is cut out the bullshit, and then obviously keep the work hours that you're obliged to go to. And then if you want to do PT, obviously be passionate about it. Like,
Yeah.
don't go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to make $1 million this year. Go into it wanting to help people, because then the money flows from that. And often if like you want a flow of money to continue, because obviously you're not going to do PT for free unless you really love it. But
Yeah.
everyone needs income. You know, it's 2025. Life's expensive.
Especially in Sydney as well, right?
Yeah, you need income, right? So I'd say passion is number one. It's a passion job.
Yeah.
It's not a job. It's not a desk job. It's not an accounting job where like you can semi-like it and just punch away figures.
Yep.
Like, this is a passion job.
Yeah.
Helping people is a passion job. Listening to people's issues. I think most people think PT is going to be a lot about hitting PRs in the gym and stuff,
Yep.
where it's really not that at all. Actually, rarely that. I
Yeah.
probably have 2 clients now that are like pushing for PRs, and they tell me about it once a week for 1 minute.
Yep.
And the rest of the week is like psychology, managing
More the
people's issues.
habits and everything like that.
Managing people's issues and like their daily struggles. That's the job. So I think if you want to go into PT, my first tip is like, look at your week, free up time. Do you have time for it? Number 2, get educated in it before you coach anyone, because most people think, oh, I'm going to start coaching before they know what they're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Prove that you can do it yourself. That's another one. I hate seeing overweight PTs. I think that's bad for branding, bad for the industry.
Yeah.
They don't go hand in hand. If you can't get yourself in shape, I
How
don't.
can you do it for other people?
There's people that would argue against that, but I don't care. I think, honestly, if you can't stay in semi-good shape, you don't have to be shredded as fuck all year,
Yeah.
but just be healthy.
Yep.
And then after you've done all that, then it's like, all right, can I start taking on clients? Do I have the time for them? Go for it. Just go all in. I might actually say it's not a bad idea to quit your job if you're that passionate
If
about
you're
it.
that
That's the
passionate.
passion
Yeah.
you need to do it.
Yeah.
That's the passion you need to do this job. If you're not willing to quit your job like me, all right, I've found a way to make it work
Yeah.
over years.
For your
'cause-
lifestyle.
'cause I
But
graduated.
that's your own lifestyle though.
I started when I was studying, so it was
Yeah.
a bit different. I kind of was always doing it with studying or with something, so
Yeah.
it just happened that way. But I don't think you need to quit your job, because proven I could do
But as
it.
an accountant though, you have to have multiple income streams.
Yeah.
PT is just one, right?
Well, 100%, and I have more too. But the thing is, like, understanding business is why I'm able to do this. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
people, like, for example, any business model, forget about fitness, but people think you need like millions of clients or millions of sales. It's not always that. That's always not the case. I can run a small business now and be profitable each year with minimal clients because of the way I've set it up.
Yep.
And that can happen in any industry, right? You don't need to be high level. You don't need to be like, you know, the JB Hi-Fi or like something with like...
Of every industry sort of thing.
You don't need that volume. Like every industry is different. Like, for example, like females are lucky because they have so many like beauty, like products and crap they can tap into. Like there's makeups, tanning, this, that, and that. Like those kinds of things like recurring revenue, which is really awesome. For men, we haven't got many of those like little hustles you can get into. It's like, what is there really? Like it's either you go do a trade or do a corporate job. There's fitness, there's barbering. There's not that many, or online sales. You know, there's...
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. I never thought of it like that.
Females have a lot more like jobs you can do that don't require e-com, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I prefer the male, like...
But you still notice that there's more males in business than females.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Like it's equal. Like men and female have equal opportunity in business for sure.
They do, but I still feel like there is more males in business than there is females. When you say? Yeah.
Well, I'd say it used
it's becoming...
It's actually... I'd disagree.
You reckon it's flipping? You reckon it's flipping? Yeah.
I'd say it's flipping. Like 2025 is like... females are more independent. A lot of females actually work harder than men now, man.
I'm noticing it, like hairdressers and beauticians, stuff like that, right?
Bro, or anything. Like they... You know how females, they want to be independent now. They want to hustle. They got that hustle culture. I don't need a man. You know, that stuff.
And I feel like men are getting more discouraged now as well.
They are. Men, look, it all started with COVID, right? Men started working from home. Then before they knew it, they started doing the cooking, the cleaning, housewife. And you know what?
Roles reversed.
It's 2025 fair. It's equal. Everyone should be equal. I get it. It depends on the relationship dynamic, on what works for each person. I'm not going to comment on that. Let it be.
I feel like it's not working, but...
Draw the line.
Draw the line. I'm not going to comment. Different things work for different people.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't mind cooking. So throw me in the kitchen, man. I'll cook up a schnitty. I'll cook
a nice pasta.
I'll cook you a steak. I'll cook something good.
Yeah.
But yeah, in business, bro, it's equal opportunity now.
Yeah.
But I think bringing it back to fitness is like
female PTs are killing us, but
which one?
Female PTs.
Yeah, like bro, this is what I mean. Like females, there's more female clients wanting to hire a female coach than men. I feel like a lot of males in today's world, their egos are too high. And they don't want to hire a coach. They're like, I'm better than this coach. I know more than him.
It's hard for them to accept, like, okay, I'm going to get help from a guy.
I need help sort of thing.
Yeah, and I've been guilty of it too. Like, in my first 5, 6, 7 years of training, like, I didn't reach out for help. And then it was from there, I was like, all right, look, I'm going to start purchasing online programs and learning. And through those learnings, I built my own stuff that became like a blend
off that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I blended all these things that I learned along the way into my own programming that works.
Yeah.
You know, but most guys are like, I know better than this guy, or I've got a better tricep than him, so I'm not gonna hire him. It's like, bro, but there's more to coaching than just the appearance.
Yeah.
It's the knowledge, it's the habits, it's everything, it's the whole picture.
It's multifaceted.
Where gym guys have egos. Yeah. And like, almost every gym.
I don't need help from him.
Yeah, like I don't need help, man. I'm getting stronger every week. It's like good. That's one part of it. But how's your nutrition? Why do you look like overweight still? Like, you know, there's other aspects. No, seriously, there's other aspects to it.
There we go.
Yeah.
And also, just one thing as well. You mentioned at the start that you were having like an identity crisis.
Yeah, and I still got an identity crisis, to be honest. But yeah, go on.
How do you explain that though? Because I feel like a lot of men in their 20s face that, where they don't understand their place in the world or what they actually want to achieve or what their actual purpose is. Because everyone's looking for their purpose, and I feel like not many people find that, right? But you're doing this accounting. I feel like you've actually solidified yourself in that. Yeah. You're doing this coaching, and you can tell through this podcast you have a big passion for it. Where would you say you kind of lie in that, or the message you want to give to
my current identity?
Yeah,
my current identity is Gio Valentino, fitness coach. All right, that's my current. That's my current identity.
Yeah.
Where I'll be in 5 years, I couldn't tell you. Both of these avenues I have in my life are leveling up very quickly and doing quite well. All right, but I don't like to. One thing I've learned over the past 5 years, and one of my flaws that I've had is I was trying to overplan. I was trying to forecast my life too much.
Accounting.
Well, listen to this. Like, I have a paper at home from when I was in medical science, and I wrote, by 2025, I'm going to be like a sonographer. It's something I wanted to do. And then by 28, I'm going to be married. And then by 33, I'm going to be, like I had everything mapped out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
None of that went to plan. So what I've realized over the last like 5 years is like go with the flow and excel in every fucking thing you do. Like everything I do, I give 100%. And I actually have in my Google Calendar, one of the things that I've put in there is every month I put in a reflection time. It's 1 month of reflection. So each month I put in, I'm like, reflect on your business life, your family life, my work, obviously my accounting progress, my fitness clients and their satisfaction. And I just do a month every reflection. Yeah. And what that does and it's really good. It's actually, I take an hour. I obviously don't use the whole hour. You just got to think about it and write down a few things where you can improve. And what that does is it removes the whole planning. I used to plan
ahead sort of thing.
And it's actually
like only 1 month at a time.
And it changes, it frames my mindset different. So planning is quite stressful. It raises cortisol. It's like, I want to get here, and you're always stressing. Where
you're giving yourself these expectations.
Exactly. Yeah. And then reflection is looking back. So each month now, instead of looking forward, obviously I'm always working hard. I look back now and I look at achievements. I'm like, shit, a month ago I've come this far. Then I look back 2 months, oh shit, I've come even further. So now and that just boosts confidence, builds and builds momentum. So that's the way I live my whole year now. So everyone's like, how do you wake up in the morning? How do you have motivation? It's like,
look backwards.
There's not one answer, but look a little bit backwards. Actually, you know what, bro? Look 5 years backwards. You'll be even more confident.
Yeah, 100%.
Shit, look how far I've come.
7 years ago, we left school.
Exactly.
It's actually funny you said that because we had a financial planner on the potty.
Oh, did you?
And he was saying to us that accountants look backwards, financial planners look forwards. That's what he said. And I was like, no, mate, I remember that.
He wouldn't. Yeah, financial planners are very forward-looking. That's very true. That's very true. Accountants, what accountants do is, yes, we look backwards, but we look at solid data that's been occurring.
Yeah.
And then we forecast. We do a lot of forecasting too.
Yeah, you do forecast forward as well, but like more in the current.
No, but what we do is we forecast based on real figures. All right.
You forecast on stats.
So like I'm going to tell a company, if a company says, can I make $5 million in the next year? I'll look at the past like 20 years they've been in business and do calculations and be like, realistically, no.
Yeah.
Because like you need X, Y, Z to happen. It's impossible. But you can make 500,000.
So you've copied and pasted that accounting mindset into your everyday mindset which is now essentially
looking backwards
this routine.
To go forwards.
Well, it works, bro. I mean, each
one step backwards to go 2 steps forward.
You got stats to go off as well. I think
you got to be realistic.
Yeah,
you got to be realistic. Like you can't go into something thinking like even people jumping into fitness first time.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, in a year's time, I'll have 50 clients. I'll make like all this money. It's like,
sure, man.
Realistically speaking, probably not. It's not impossible. People do it, man. You know, the big scene in like the Gold Coast is always coaches. And there's probably like a good 5% of them doing really well, but the rest really are not. But they
100% because it's that 5% that are taking all the clients.
Yes, and the rest of them paint the picture that they have this glorious life living on the beaches with their 5 clients. It's like
they paint
with their 5 clients. That's a good one.
Well, they do. They paint the picture online. That's the thing with social media. People post like the highlight reel and the best part, but it's all a facade. A lot of it's a facade.
Bro, I respect the mentality. Where can people find you on the socials?
Socials, Gio Valentino. Gio.Valentino. Same as TikTok. You know what? I'm gonna ramp up the TikTok a bit more this year.
Perfect.
The account's still there. It's still running, but I haven't actually posted a lot.
Yeah.
I'd like to build it up again.
Then we can tag you in it and all the little shorts.
Yeah,
are you going to create like a finance bro Instagram as well?
Well, potentially. It is on the cards. So
it is?
Depending, not in the next 12 months. So
well, like a business type.
Don't hold your breath. But I think depending on where my career goes and what I do, I always want to keep fitness a part of it because passion project.
But you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. It's a passion project, but wherever finance takes me, look, ideally one day potentially be CFO of a company or something like that. Yeah. That is a big potential as well. And ideally in the fitness industry, a fitness company or a supplement brand or something like that. So
we are looking for a CFO.
Mate, if you need, that's when your HR guy comes back. Yeah. that's where you need him to hire.
Okay, I need a CFO right now.
I feel like you're driving the car right now and you've got 2 passengers. You've got your accountant guy and your personal the HR. 3 people in the car then. Yeah. HR, finance, and personal training. And you look like you're going in the right direction, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Thanks, boys.
No worries.
Appreciate it. Good
Cheers,
chat.
man.
See you, boys.
Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the Evolv Podcast.
Brendan and I have loved having you throughout this whole podcast. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if friends are interested, share it around.
Yeah, make sure you share and tag us on your Instagram posts, and I'll see you soon.
See you guys. Little boogie to finish.